Hello and welcome to episode 6 of the ChepSafari Podcast, hosted by me. My name is Chep, and it's another week, another day, and my voice is still gone. I'll tell you a little bit about that when we get into the episode of today. However, let us cue the intro. Hi, and welcome to the ChepSafari Podcast, hosted by me. My name is Chep, and I am on a safari. On this podcast, we have conversations on life and what that looks like for me, for my guests, and definitely for you who interacts with us. Hopefully, these episodes help me and you uncover the mysteries living has to offer and help each one of us on this journey we call life. Join me by subscribing, by turning on your notification bell so that you're notified whenever I post my new episode next week, and by leaving a review on every episode that you enjoy. So I hope you'll journey with me as we discuss all things life. So this episode is recorded on Monday the 12th. It's currently 1 p.m. and this episode will go out today. By all means necessary. As I said, our episodes go out every Monday. Right after I record this video, I'll do a quick edit and upload it on social. So when you actually do see this on a Monday, please do congratulate me down on the comment section below. We said we're being consistent in 2021. By the year is coming to an end. So it's actually a holiday today. It feels quite different. Kenya celebrated Jamhuri Day yesterday on Sunday, 12th December, and Jamhuri Day for us is our Independence Day. So happy holidays to every Kenyan listening to this. Today, on our Jamhuri official holiday day, or if you're listening to this on any other day, I just have two questions for you. So, what does freedom look like to you as a Kenyan? And number two, are we really free? Take time to just think about those two questions, especially considering that we're going into an electioneering year, 2022 next year. Have nothing much else to add or the same. However, welcome to episode 6. Episode 6 is sponsored by my two friends, Sambe and Chika Odili, because this episode was supposed to be recorded yesterday, Sunday, and I normally record my episodes using natural light. If you're listening to us, that's on podcast platforms. We also do have a YouTube page where you can see the visuals. I almost recorded this video yesterday night because I spent the whole day and almost the whole night with my friends, and I hadn't recorded a video, and I was telling them when I get home, I think I'm going to record just an audio, and then when I post it on YouTube, I'll post it together with like a picture on the frame or something of the sort. So with their counsel and their wise words, they advised me to just record this video on Monday morning, edit it and have it out during the day. It's Monday afternoon, but we're still at it. So today's episode, as you've seen from the title head, are 10 lessons I have learned in my 2 months of working. And I'm not kidding when I say that this episode is sponsored by Sambe and Chika, because we had this conversation with them at some point yesterday when we hung out, and we ran through like different thoughts. I ran them through my script for today, and it just blew up into a whole new conversation on the same. So I'll run us through the 10 points. Matter of fact, the last 2 points are bonus points from Sambe and Chika, so stick around for that. it'll be at the end of the episode for sure. Yeah, let's jump right into it. So before we begin having this discussion, if you're an OG, if you've been listening to our past 5 episodes, you do know that we have a section called the ChepSafari or the Safari Check. And if you're new here, the section is all about checking in with each other. So I check in with you and you check in with me in the comment section below, or you can write to me on my email, the journey with Jep, JEP @gmail.com. And if I do have guests, I also check in with them as they check in with me, and just let me know where they are at in life, what their journey looks like, what their safari looks like. In this segment, you can think about answering in terms of what has been in your mind, what are your thoughts, or maybe what you're currently going through, your present situation, or things that you're hoping for in future. So I check in with you, you check in with me on the same. I don't have a guest today, so I'll just check in with you. And please, if you are able to check in with me in the comment section below on YouTube or write to me on my email, please do check in with me. I'd really love to hear your thoughts and where your safari what your safari looks like at this point in time. So my safari check. Let me get comfortable because it's been I'm at a good place, I have to say. So as you can hear, it's another day, another week, and still my voice is gone, only because I have been spending time I actually spent time yesterday with my friends, Sambe and Chika. And when I do have good company, or one of the signs of you knowing that I actually did have a good time with you or at a particular place, is when I come back with my voice gone. That means I made so much noise. I was talking a lot and I was screaming and laughing and probably even running up and down. So my journey looks like understanding the value I have around me and trying to be present with the same, and just being grateful. Just being grateful, Time flies, or you can say, time waits for no man. However, in that period of motion, on that period of movement, there's a lot happening that we can think about presently, and also just review, take time to sit back and just think about it and be grateful. So that's what my safari looks like. I don't know if that makes sense, but I'm at a happy place. I'm happy, I'm content, I am revisiting old friendships, I am loving living, I am learning to be intentional in so many ways, right from my friendships to my own commitments. So in the past week, I have attended a wedding and celebrated this particular once in a lifetime season with friends of mine who got married. I visited my brother and my sister-in-law. I reunited with some of my really good friends and we had great conversations. I took time to rest and sleep. I missed my runs. No one, don't at me. Which, by the way, I am going to run today. I'm actually dressed in my running gear. If you're watching me on YouTube, you can see I have my running trouser, my socks, my running top, and I'll run later today evening. Only because I'm going to be home the whole day, so I have time to run early enough. I said in one of my previous episodes, if you haven't watched, I have an episode called Why I Run. I talked about how I enjoy running in the morning, because you can decide to start running when it's dark outside, and by the time you're 20-30 minutes, 1 hour in, the light is out and your path is well lit. as compared to running in the evening when you get out to run at 6, and by 6:30 it's pitch dark outside, and there are no lights, no street lights for you. You're just waiting on someone's car to pass to light your path, which is not fun. But anyway, I will run at around maybe 5 p.m. early enough. It's not too hot. It's quite cloudy outside, so the weather is great for me running. And again, no excuses, because I didn't wake up early enough to run. Doesn't mean I won't run today. So yeah, I'm just at that point of the year is about to come to an end. There's a lot of reflection, taking time to think about how your year has been, taking time to be grateful. I'm happy. I'm really happy. I'm looking forward to the future without forgetting to be present and living in the now. So it's looking hopeful. My safari check-in today is amazing, and I thank God, because I don't know when or how I will feel tomorrow or the day after tomorrow, and things of the same. So yeah, that's me, checking in with you. Please check in with me. I'd love to hear where you're at and what your journey looks like. I guess from here we can jump right into today's episode. Today's episode, as I said earlier in the introduction, is sponsored by my two friends, Sambe and Chika. Love these friends of mine to bits. I ran them through my script for today's episode, and they just had a lot to say in terms of their experience and their knowledge in the working field and working sphere. So initially, this particular episode was to consist of 8 points, or 8 lessons I have learned in my first 2 months of work. And then I had this conversation with Sambe and Chika, and I decided to give you guys 2 bonus points from our conversation with them. I recently graduated in September. Now, I'm currently an architectural intern, so my experience will be coming from that sort of field, and also that experience that I have gotten in the last 2 months. Okay, it's been a little bit over 2 months. However, for the sake of this video, we'll batch it as 2 months. And my friends Sambe and Chika have been out in the working environment or the working field for a couple of years now, maybe 2 to 3 years. And they've been exposed to different things which they were sharing with me, and I promise you, I had my phone out and I was taking notes. I was like, okay, this is what I need to know, or this is what I need to prepare for when I'm having such a conversation with whoever, now that I'm still applying for jobs, because I don't have a permanent position anywhere really. I'm like, okay, so these are pointers that I can check in with. If you would love, please give this video a thumbs up, and I would bring them onto this podcast episodes to talk to us a little bit about life generally, right? ChepSafari is just about this journey of life, trying to figure that out as I go. And I figured I might as well share with you guys, and also as some sort of record keeping for me in future when I look back at how my seasons of life looked like. So now my season of life looks like me finishing campus and figuring out this working field and how that looks like for me, and what it entails, and the lessons I'm picking, the L's I'm collecting, and also celebrating the wins that I have along the way. Yeah, so I guess we'll jump right into it and begin. This is in no particular order. However, the last 2, as I said earlier, are points from my friends. So look out for that. Point number 1, sleep is for the weak. I
I promise you, when I was thinking about this episode a couple of, I'd say a week ago, and I was writing down my points, sleep had to be my number one point. I promise you, in my first week of work, I thought I would even record this particular episode and just talk about working generally with my 1 week experience. And I figured, you know what, calm down your high horse, humble yourself, and just have some sort of consistency even for 1 month and figure out whether your thoughts change. It was quite a struggle at the beginning to wake up every day of the week just to go to work for someone. Quite a struggle. Who is this girl who, you know, when you're in campus, my classes used to begin at 9 a.m. and I don't live far from my school. So I would even leave the house at 8:30. I'm in school by 9. That means I can wake up at whatever time before 8:30, get ready, do my thing, get up, go. I had enough time to do a run, come back and do a proper 40-minute workout, sleep in, whatever. But now I have to be up, think about getting ready, and then go to work for someone far away from home, by the way, I have to add. So I have to leave early every day, and I can't just wake up and decide today I'm not feeling it and I'll not go to work, or I'll call in and just say, you know what, I'm tired, or just sleep in and go for my 11 a.m. class instead of my 9 a.m. class. I have to be there early in the morning. So waking up is it's something you'll have to readjust to, especially if you're not exposed or if you've not had that consistency in your life of being up early and constantly doing it over years on the same. I think it's going to be a struggle. Sleep is for the weak, but you're not weak. You are strong. Wake up and prepare to leave for work. For the second point, I wrote down, you'll find time to do the things you love. This resonated so much with me, mainly because, you know, when I was back in campus, obviously it's intense. There's like schedules can be busy. However, I did have free time. I did have a lot of free time. And there are a couple of things that I enjoyed doing that I did. And then there are other things that I enjoyed doing that I did not do. Now, you know how you hear from other people who've gone ahead of you, oh my goodness, once you start working, you know, you won't be able to do this and you won't be able to do that. Then when you get married, you won't be able to do this and you'll be able to do that. Then when you have kids, oh, forget about this, forget about that. But one thing I have learned in these 2 months is you'll find time to do the things you love. So don't worry, don't panic. I know there's always, like, for me, for example, I thought I wouldn't have time to do any of my creative work, such as videography or having a podcast, a podcast that I was really longing to have for quite some time, or doing my photography sessions, or just drawing, designing, sketching, painting, things of that manner, and also things that I value, such as maybe my fitness routine, or just little things that I enjoy, like sleep and even things like that, right? I thought I would not. Yani, you get into a new phase and you're getting busier and you won't see your friends and forget about your social life and things of the same. However, you will find time to do the things you love. I started my podcast on my second or third week of work. I had time to record, I had time to edit, I had time to learn how, I had no idea until then, how to upload a podcast, what website I was gonna be on, how to distribute your podcast. I just decided to start my podcast and then learn as I go without giving excuses. Because now, having some sort of being an intern or working, I have more responsibilities or new responsibilities, then it's easier for me to just give an excuse of I won't be able to work, or I won't be able to do to work on the things I would want, such as my YouTube or my podcast. However, I just made up my mind, and when I made up my mind to do these things, I figured out my schedule, and time was discovered, time was found, and I worked along with it. So with whatever it is you desire to do, don't think that in future you won't be able to do it. I hope I will be able to revisit this sector when I'm like married or with my kids, or with whatever new responsibilities I'll get as I grow up, and still look back and say, you know what, I did find time to do ABCDE that I thoroughly enjoy. I did find time to travel Kenya and explore the different cultures and communities we have here in Kenya. I did have time to be ChepSafari. That's all I want. Point number 3 is a little bit painful to say, but it's something I actually had to learn really quick. It says, don't go in for the money, unless, of course, you can. Maybe if you do have opportunities that are given at you right from when you start working or right from when you graduate, that have a high return financially, go ahead and do that. But that's not the case for me. So I had to learn that I don't have to go in thinking about I shouldn't go in for the money, which is quite sad. You know when you finish school, you're thinking, manze, the money I'm going to earn, and I've done this course for 4 years, 5 years, 6, I'm gonna be fine. It's a marketable, it's a marketable course. But you come out here and you realize, either systems are not working, or systems are actually not in place, or you maybe just find there are not so many opportunities, or you've not put yourself in a position with so many opportunities. Maybe there's a lot for you to learn in terms of the working sphere, because then again you realize that whatever it is you're learning in school, the theories and maybe kidogo practicals that you're doing, when you come out here into the world, you're like, things are different. I have to learn certain things again from scratch. So your skills are not marketable enough to have you earn certain amounts, or you're yet to learn a couple of things. The typical me, you're fresh from graduating, and the bare minimum or entry point, entry point jobs require you to have like a minimum of 2-year experience, and you're thinking, where am I supposed to get 2 years of experience when I just finished school and this is a basic entry level job group or something? So don't go in with the mindset of money. And don't go in with this mindset of money. This takes us to point number 4, which says set career goals. So even if you feel like you're falling back on being compensated financially, I had to learn really quickly that I had to set career goals. Sometimes even weekly, I wake up, or when I'm preparing for a new week, I think to myself, you know what, Chep? This new week, my goal is to learn ABCDE about how an office is being run. In terms of my career field, or I need to learn maybe these new softwares, or I need to learn how to do presentations for clients. I need to learn how the office seeks out for new opportunities or new jobs. So you don't really have to be the one losing out financially, I'll say that in quotes. But if you do set career goals for yourself, then you're able to also gain if you're being hurt or pinched on one end. So you set career goals and you tell yourself, you know what? because I'm going to be an intern for 3 months, for example. In these 3 months, I don't want to just be sitting at home applying for jobs online. I've gotten this opportunity where I can volunteer my time, and maybe they're compensating me my lunch and my transport, or even if they're not compensating me at all, I can walk to work, or I can find someone who I can work for maybe 2-3 days a week or a couple of hours a day, and then figure out what to do with the rest of my time. So figure that out, and then give yourself certain targets that you need to achieve. There's a lot to learn when you're out here. For those of you who are students of architecture, I'll speak for my field. I'm studying to be an architect. There's a whole lot, I promise you will learn. I remember just being there for a week, and I'm like, I come home every day and I'm telling my folks and my siblings, man, the things I'm learning, the things I'm being exposed to. I was quite excited. 2 weeks in, you're like, wow, I'm learning a lot. I don't even think if I spent 10 years in school, I would have learned this particular thing. So allowing yourself to understand that there are different seasons in life. And in those seasons of life, be present and allow yourself to glean and learn and take advantage of whatever season you're in, so that when you leave, you don't leave with so much resentment at, manzi, I've worked for this person for 3 months. And the only thing I earned was 3,000 bob. But go in and I worked for this person. I learned A, B, C, D, E. I had these goals. I've ticked off these things, so that by the time you're out of there, at least, even if you didn't tick out 100%, you ticked out 10% of every point that you wanted to learn. Because again, in this world, learning is an endless curve. It's never going to come to an end. So you're always learning. I feel like all these points are tied to each other, because point number 5 says, now, don't be taken advantage of. I said all these things because sometimes you can think, for example, with point number 3, that don't go in for the money. So you'll just say, you know what, it's because I just want to have an opportunity to learn. I won't go in for the money, so I'll go work for this person, or I'll work for this company, and there's nothing you're learning from them. They're just milking you dry. So maybe they're milking your skills, your abilities, your knowledge, and you're not gaining anything in return. That is a form of being taken advantage of. So you have to, as I said in point number 4, set your career goals, so that if you're losing out on something, point number 3, you're gaining out on something, point number 4. Those are your goals. You're gaining out on your goals. You're losing out probably financially. You're gaining out on your goals, while clearly understanding that those two things are being both beneficial to you as the employee and to your employer, right? So you don't leave there feeling like your time has been wasted, your skill set is not being sharpened, there are not so many opportunities that you're getting, you're just feeling drained. And I've been there before. I've had such a difficult time, especially before I got to this internship, trying to, there's always different types of quote unquote office abuse that you can go through. So don't allow yourself to be taken advantage of. Figure out things like working overtime. When you're working overtime, have a goal, right? Just don't work and you're not gaining anything in return. Now, point number 6, create a routine. I cannot stress this enough. You have to create a routine for you to find time to do the things you love, as we spoke about in point number 2. So creating a routine for you would look like how my mornings are going to start, once you figure out how many days a week I'm working, how far is it that I'm going in terms of location, how much time do I need to get ready, how much time do I need to make breakfast or prepare my lunch for the day, or work out, or doing things that you enjoy doing. Figure that out, create a routine, stick to it. I don't know how you spontaneous people do it, but for me, I have to always know. When I wake up, I brush my teeth, then shower, or I shower, then brush my teeth. I have to have some sort of structure to it. That way, it saves you on time. It saves you on, in terms of saving you on time, it saves you on, like, you get to maximize your time. You waste little time. You maximize on being productive, and then you get to fully indulge in things that you want to indulge in, like sleep in my case. And then creates discipline. It creates some sort of, you can predict, oh, tomorrow, like now for myself, do you know there was a time, quick story. I do have I'm a plant mom, right? I do have a little garden, and I didn't take time to schedule in the times I'm supposed to water my plants. So me, I'm out here waking up. I know I run 3 times a week. The rest of the time, it's either I'm sleeping in. So I run 4 times a week, right? Okay, 3 times during the week that I'm working. Monday to Friday, I run 3 times, and then once in the weekend. So during the week, I'm just chilling whenever I'm not doing my morning routine. My time is packed. And then I realized one day I killed my one whole strawberry plant that just did not survive because it wasn't getting any water. And then I was like, oh no, I've forgotten about my plants. Most of the other plants I have are pretty resilient. So I thank God for that. But for my one strawberry plant that died, I have 2 others, but this one is the one that I've had for the longest time. It's produced so many fruits. I felt quite devastated. So I decided, you know what, in my routine, I'll add my watering time to my morning. So once I finish my runs and my workouts, so I'll water my plants 3 times a week. And then once I'm done with my run or my workout, whatever it is I decide to do, depending on the Nairobi weather that you guys have been seeing, this Nairobi December weather has been quite dramatic. So once I do that, when I get home, as a form of, obviously I've done my cool down, but my body is still heated, and because I want to cool down a bit before I take a shower, my form of cooling down will be watering my plants outside. Nichapo na baridi kidogo, and then I can continue with preparing for the day. So that's how I've been keeping the rest of my plants alive. I literally forgot about my plants. Legit, I think for a whole week or week and a half, completely forgot, which is quite sad to mention. And I only noticed one day when I was going at night to cut out some parsley that I have growing. And I was like, oh, they all look dead. Only because I hadn't watered them for a really long time. So create that routine. Figure out some sort of, at least start now. Because for me, even, I am still trying to figure out how my routine looks like, especially on the weekends. During the week, I have that on lockdown. But during the weekends, when I'm chilling with my friends and I'm with them the whole day and the whole night, I don't know really what to do the next day. That I'm still trying to figure that out. So it's going to be a constant thing that you'll do for a period of time, but look out for that. So to my brother and my sister who's actually watching this, that's you who's listening, prepare that CV. Prepare that CV now before you finish school and you're now looking for a job and you need a job as soon as yesterday. So prepare that CV. And if you're in the creative field like myself, that portfolio as well needs to be updated. I know you haven't updated your portfolio since your first project in your first year of school, but update those things and just have them ready, because they actually do take a lot of time to prepare. When you start finding opportunities for you to apply, I'm telling you, there are nights I was transnighting after campus to just update my portfolio when I would have been sleeping. So my advice to you is just take that time, 20 minutes in a day, update your portfolio, prepare that CV, know how to write a cover letter, basics. What is it that you need to know about going for interviews? Do your research, read, watch videos. There's a lot out there that is informative. Ask your friends who've gone before you. Be ready. Be prepared. Yeah. And then point number 8 is respect your time and your office's time. This is something I'm yet to fully learn. Only because my office is quite far from where I stay. So one of the things I have trouble is like leaving the office on time. So I stay there, end up staying there for a while, and then I'm on the road. I'm on like traffic. I'm in the traffic for like 2-3 hours. By the time I get home, I don't even have energy to do anything. I'm just home. I want to eat, sleep, and that's the end of my day. So in terms of respecting your time and the office's time looks like, maybe that 8 to 5 or 9 to 5, depending on whatever time you're working. 9 to 5, I am fully immersed in the office work, and I'm fully gleaning and learning, and I'm fully milking dry the things I need to learn. I'm fully investing in my career goals at that point. That's what my 9 to 5 looks like, right? So honoring your time and being there on time, being there early. If you're not able to be there early, communicate and say, I'm actually running late. Things like that. Things I've been intentionally learning to do as well. So respect your time, respect your office's time. When it's that time to leave and you can close your work at that point, go do your other work or continue building your portfolio in a different way, or building your legacy in a different way. Go ahead and do that at your own time, right? And in that way, others will learn to respect what you value. So if you're valuing your time, you're valuing your office's time, others who might be your fellow co-workers or your employer or employers, they will learn to value what you value or respect what you value. Yeah, so those are my 8 points. On to the last 2 bonus points. I had to put them in a whole new sheet because, man, I was just typing. So we have 2 last points, which I am really struggling to select which as my number 9 and which as my number 10, because they're all really good. And I'm like, man, this point needs to be the finishing point. And then I'm like, no, this other one is actually equally good. I need to be like the finishing point. But I'll have to picky ponky. I'll start with just one of them. These are the bonus points from my friends Sambe and Chika during our conversation yesterday. And point number 9 is, do not feel bad when you ask someone to pay you. This is a part of knowing or understanding your value in terms of what you are offering at a particular job or at a particular either job or like project you're currently doing. Do not be afraid to ask for compensation. As Africans, we don't like talking about money. We rarely even have conversations on the same with people who are close to us. But it's important to, check in with your friends. So in this particular field, what's the range of payment? I'm lucky to have groups of people who I have met, and they're very direct and very open on, if you're a graduate architect, this is the least amount of money that you should be asking for. Or if you're not able to get it in one way or another, maybe because, as I had said, the structures are not working, the systems are not working, or there are no structures at all, things of that matter, then set your career goals and then decide, okay, fine, if I'm not able to get this bare minimum and I'm getting this other really bare minimum, what am I gaining from it? So do not be afraid to put forth what you would desire to get paid for. However, do your research, ask around. If possible, have the agreement written down. And because, in a court of law, if it's not written down and there's no witness, it's hard to prove that this is an agreement you had with your employer or someone you're working for. Even if it's something as simple as a business transaction that you're doing with someone, have it written down for your own protection or your own legal protection in terms of, safety. If possible, because out here it's very possible for you to find companies that don't have any form of contract and they're just hiring you as a, just like you're not formally employed. So I don't know, just ask around for advice on how to go about that particular hurdle. So figure out, either you ask for advice to go around that particular challenge, or you reevaluate your career goals and see where that challenge fits in with your general vision of the direction you want to go. Now, point number 10, know your labor laws. Know your rights as an employee. Know what you're entitled to. Sometimes you think you're supposed to work, and there's nothing you're supposed to benefit from unless your employer wants to give you those things. However, there are certain things that you as a citizen are entitled to legally, right? So from anything such as your NHIF, that's your insurance, your NSSF, your days off. These are things I had no idea about until I had this conversation with my friends recently. You're supposed to, probably get an overtime compensation. Figure these things out. Find them out for yourself. Do your research. Know how your field is, your career, what is you're entitled to. Then, as you are looking for work, you're able to negotiate with your employer for you to maximize in terms of the opportunities that you have in the workspace. So don't think you're supposed to just work without getting anything in return. The laws of the land are going to be able to back you up in one way or another. So I guess that's it, figure that out. Please do share with me more points or more things that you have learned in your years of working, months of working, weeks of working, hours of working, literally. I will allow you to share that because I know what it feels like when you're just one day in and you feel like you've learned a whole lot. So please do share them in the comment section below. If you're listening or you're watching us on YouTube, scroll down, pick a couple of nuggets and share your thoughts as well. And we can glean and learn from each other on the same. I guess that's it. That's today's episode. 10 lessons I have learned in my 2 months of working. And I am looking forward to learning 1 million, gazillion, gabillion, trillion, fillion, dillion, more things in life. I'm always excited to learn new things. Thank you if you stayed this long. thank you very much, and happy holidays to you who's in Kenya and just relaxing on a Monday morning at home. I know offices are about to close this week. Take time to evaluate how the year has been for you in terms of the working space. Go through your career goals. If you don't have any career goals, remember to set new career goals for your new season of life going into next year. And I hope these lessons enrich you, challenge you, teach you, have you feeling fulfilled in one way or another. Yeah, so this is for you who is either still in campus and you don't hear these conversations often. You're wondering, what does the working field look like? I hope I, as your big sister, have, at least I've given you some, I hope I have given you some insight on what this field looks like. And for you who's older and you probably have had this much experience, I hope when you're listening to this podcast, you're just reminiscing on, this is how it used to be when I first began. For those of you who are hoping for opportunities, just as myself, to practice or to work, I hope that this gives you some sort of guidance on the direction to go as you prepare for whatever the future holds for you. Thank you again so much. I hope you've subscribed. I hope you will share this particular episode with someone you're thinking about when you're listening to this. And I hope you give me a thumbs up. Please, as I said again, let me know if you'd like me to bring in my friends, my sponsors of the day. Sambe and Chika. We'll probably do an episode before Chika leaves and goes back to the country she's residing in. Again, Sambe and Chika, if you're watching this, thank you very much for great conversations and good company as usual. Definitely will not forget yesterday. All right, see you guys, take care, and see you in the next episode, which will be released on Monday next week. Take care, have a good week.